Shalom, shalom. I would like to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakak Radash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well, teaching this truth in its entirety. It's your brother Kalab, also go by Hope, Grace, and Mercy. And I just want to give a quick testimony of the dream that I had last night. It was a real short dream. It seemed like longer while I was in the dream, but I only slept about 4 hours, so real short dream. And just to get off into the dream, it was me and the two brothers that I do the work with, who I go out and prophesy on Saturdays with, the brother Heart of David and the brother Yasharallah. In the dream, we was inside of this like warehouse setting. It had multiple floors right from the get-go. I can tell because the room that they had us in, it seems to be Jacob's Trouble as well, but the room that they had us in, I can see that at the end of the hall from the room we was in, it was being controlled by like some Hamites. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't Jakes, it was just like, it was Hamites, you know. That's the vibe that I got as well, and how they talked as well. They was like going up and down like a rope, but it was a chain, and it was helping them get from floor to floor. And in the room that we was in, I was laying closer to the wall. Next to me was the brother Heart of David, and next to him was Yasharallah. It was other people inside of the room as well, but I couldn't tell if they was unalived or not. But I know we was alive and well. And, you know, they had our hands bound, you know, to our sides. We couldn't we ain't have too much free movement or nothing like that. And, you know, we was well aware, you know, of the times we was in. We knew to call on the names of Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai. And at this exact same moment, you know, the Hamites, it was two Hamites rotating. One was like going up to different floors, and one was like peeking in on the room that we was in. And one of them came in, and he started, you know, not torturing, but just, you know, getting some licks off, you know what I'm saying, beating up on the brother Yasharallah, you know. And I could see from my left side, you know what I'm saying, he was like elbowing him. You know, the brother Yasharallah, he was just taking it, you know, just taking the blows to the face. And then he came over to the brother Heart of David, and, you know, he was torturing him, you know, with his hands, like, you know, like punching him and stuff like that. And then he came over to me, and before he can get to me, I started calling on the names of Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai. You know, I just continue to keep calling on the names of Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai. And no matter what they did to us, it's like me and the brothers, we was all on one accord. We was like synced together. No matter what they did to us, it wasn't anything that made us want to, like, you know, make haste to get up out of that time. Like, as if, you know, whatever they did to us, we was aware of what they was doing. But it was also more of like a sense of we could bear it. Like what they was doing to us, it was like, you know, we could put up with it. It wasn't nothing that make us, you know, want to hurt and give up the ghost, or, you know what I'm saying, try to get up out the situation. We was just there. And one of the Hamites that was on guard, he went outside the room, and it was just us in the room. It was multiple people. But again, like I said, me, the brother, the Heart of David, and the brother Yasharallah, we was in the room with other people, but, you know, it just seemed like we were the only people that was concerned about each other in the room. But the brother, the Heart of David, he whispered something over to me, and one of the Hamites that was on guard outside the room, I think he heard him. He came rushing into the room. And when he rushed into the room, it was like he was pointing the gun at us, and I hit the gun out of his hand. You know, the gun went off. We didn't have any weapons, but the way I hit the gun, some kind of strange way, I hit his hand, hit the gun, and it spun him around and knocked him unconscious. So, by the time I look back at the brothers, we was out of our chains. And the other Hamite that was on guard ran in. And as soon as he ran in, I grabbed him by his neck, and the brother Heart of David, he grabbed him as well. And we kind of like, choked him out. So then once, he was out of there, we got up and then we exited out the room, not knowing what would be outside these doors. But when we walked outside the room, we saw that we was at the end of the hall, and to the right it was a long hall. So we ran down the hall, trying to see how we can get out the building. And when we ran down to the other end of the hall, I looked out the window and I can see that we were like in a residential neighborhood in a building, just like in a regular building. But outside the building, the streets were like overrun with Hamites. But when I say overrun, it wasn't chaos. It was like, it was Hamites had them came in and just took over the normal everyday lives. It was like they were us now. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like you only seen like other nations, Hamites, other nations having a good time, going to the store, going to the club, walking down the street. It was like the people who originally lived in that neighborhood were replaced. You know what I'm saying? And in my dream, I automatically knew, like, I thought about, other nations coming over here through the border, UN soldiers, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. But everybody had on regular clothes. So while we looking for a way to get out, a way to just, we was like a few stories up, because when I looked out the window, I was looking down on the streets and stuff of everybody carrying on about their way. But you can just tell, like, it wasn't your average, you know what I'm saying, so-called American walking around on the streets. So the brother Yasharallah, he a way just appeared, you know what I'm saying, for us to just leave out this room, and we just eased out on the streets. So while we was out on the streets, we stuck out like a sore thumb. And we just knew that, like, we just couldn't stay around here. So we took off running, and we was running through like apartments and stuff like that. And we was seeing people who was like seeing us run, and they would like try to chase us to be like, what y'all doing around here? Not like they was trying to cause no harm, but kind of like, hey, what are y'all doing? So we kept running, got away from them. And then we was led to this place. It was kind of like an airport, but it wasn't a plane or anything like that, because behind the building, it was like woods and stuff like that. But it was just a feeling of knowing that, like, behind these walls is a safe place for you. If you can make it past these walls and these checkpoints, you'll be all right. So we know we couldn't just walk up in there, but for some reason, we start seeing people just like start walking in that direction, and we knew we couldn't just walk straight over there. And then we seen some Eves walking. They were all did up, dressed up, and stuff like that. And we knew that, if we could just start talking to these Eves, win them over with our conversation, we could probably just, walk in with them. So it worked. We was talking and walking, making them laugh, joking with the Eves. And when we got to the checkpoint, it was some people at the checkpoint, but it was ladies at the checkpoint. And since we was with these Eves, they didn't pay us no mind. They just kind of like, all right, they just let us in. And when we got into the past the checkpoint, you knew that, like, all right, you was good in here. But while we was inside the checkpoint, I was looking around and stuff like that, and I seen one of the brothers from One Body in Yahushua, one of the brothers from their so-called leadership. His name Yochanan. And I was hesitant about like saying something to him because, I know those brothers are false prophets. So in the dream, I said what's up to him, and he spoke back. And like once I started trying to tell him about like what we've been through and what just had happened to us, I realized that he was just trying to like act like he was paying attention, but that brother was alerting the authorities. You know what I'm saying? Like where we was. You know what I'm saying? He was like trying to, just continue to have us talk. But the whole time while we was in there, he was calling for like the authorities, like to let them know, like I found some of them, and I knew right then and there, you know what I'm saying? We were cornered in, like, because we was inside of this building that was so-called, it was like a safe place, It was a feeling like you was okay as long as you were up in here. And after a while, I realized like I might need to stop talking to this brother, but at the time I knew it was too late. And I already kind of like spilled the beans to him, and he was alerting somebody to come he was letting somebody know like, hey, I found some of them. So authorities came, and I knew that, hey, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, he got us. He gonna do something for us, some kind of way he gonna do something for us that's gonna make everything A-okay. And right then and there, I woke up, the dream ended. Like I said, I only slept about 4 hours last night, but the dream just ended, So I'm gonna end it off on that. Just a quick testimony of a dream that I had. At the same time, I just want to let you brothers and sisters know that have came back to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Keep on fighting, kicking and scratching to keep the Lord's commandments. We almost up out of here. I want to end it by saying, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Radash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, teach well, teaching the truth in its entirety. Shalom.